3 lifelong friends, 6 trusty balls, and endless NFL takes. Welcome to 3 Guys, 6 Balls NFL Podcast. Welcome to episode 43 of 3 Guys, 6 Balls NFL Podcast. I'm your host, Joel. I do not have my usual co-hosts with me today, Wil and Avery. They are both doing something. I'm not sure what they're doing, but they're not here. But I am joined by 2 of the 4 hosts of Cheeseheads and The Bear Podcast, Brennen and Mason. How are you guys doing today?
Good. Feeling good.
Lovely, man.
How are you, man?
Good. Thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate you guys stepping in as my co-host for the day. Why don't you guys get us started just by introducing yourselves and your podcast and let everybody know where they can find you guys on the socials and all that.
Yeah, so it's me, Mason, Cheesehead number 2. We've got 2 Cheeseheads on the Cheesehead and Bear podcast. Cheesehead number 1, Connor, cannot make it today. We've also got a Vikings fan on the podcast as well, Alex, and then we'll get to Brennan's intro there. But you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, I mean, just basically anywhere, TikTok, anywhere where
Cheese
you got
and
social
Bear
media.
Pod. So, yeah.
Yep.
Got the Bear here. Kind of mad that Will's not here. You know, he's been shitting on my quarterback all season. So the one time that we get on here, he's ducking. But no, I'm really excited to be here, and thank you for having us.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Thanks again for joining me. So we're just going to get right into this. What we've got for you guys today, we're going to talk about the ideal playoff matchups in the first round for the playoff teams. And then after that, we'll talk about some New Year's resolutions for our 3 teams. So as you guys know, I'm a Bucs fan, Brennen is a Bears fan, and Mason is a Packers fan. So we'll talk about the New Year's resolutions for those 3 teams. But to get us started, we'll go ahead and talk about the ideal first round playoff matchups for the teams in the playoffs. We're only going to talk about ideal matchups for the teams that are currently in the playoffs. So we are not going to talk about ideal matchups for the Steelers or Ravens, Bucs or Panthers, because we don't know who is going to be in yet. But you can choose those teams as an ideal matchup for one of the other teams who are in. And then what we'll do with the teams that are in play for the 1 seed, obviously the first round matchup that's ideal is not playing anybody. So we're going to do it as if they do not get the 1 seed. So what we'll do is I'll just give you guys a team, and then we'll just all share our thoughts on that team and who we think is the best first round matchup for that team. So we'll start with Mason's team, the Green Bay Packers. Mason, you'll go first.
Yeah.
Who is the ideal first round matchup for the Packers?
Brennan's waiting for it. The ideal first-round matchup for the Green Bay Packers is the rival Chicago Bears. And
Ooh.
Granted, I think it's scaring a lot of people because, yes, the Bears just took the North. They're the hot team this year that no one really wants to play, and we just saw how talented of a team they are, at least on the offensive side last night against the Niners. What was that last night? Was that Monday or Sunday
Monday.
night, 2 nights ago?
Yep.
Yeah,
Same thing.
but we saw how good that team is. Either way, the Green Bay Packers were 2 minutes away from going undefeated against the Bears this season. Took a stupid play by Romeo Doubs on the onside kick. Great offensive plays by Jade Walker and DJ Moore to finish out the game. But if you're a Packers fan, we saw how close we came to going undefeated this year. We've already gotten them once. Now, again, granted, they're a hot team. Ben Johnson's going to be cooking up some offensive masterclass, but I don't want to play the Eagles. The Eagles, even though they're not looking like the Eagles of the past, they just have our number for some reason. I'd like to take our chances.
Gotta beat them
with the
eventually,
Bears.
right? Come on, right?
I don't like the odds, man. I don't like the numbers. I like the numbers against Chicago, and I would just love to see just the environment at Soldier Field, knowing it's against Green Bay, a Packers-Bears first-round matchup this season. No one expected it. It would be awesome. So definitely
be
the
sweet.
Bears for us.
Brennan, do you agree?
I mean, it's in the air, man. It's gonna happen. We're gonna take down the Lions this week and have the 2 seed. I'd love to play them, but I also have another team, but I'll get to them in a second. The Packers, obviously, with the rivalry, it would be sweet. Everyone's got injuries. Obviously, their team is pretty depleted right now, so I would like to take advantage of that. And these games are always good, so I'm really excited to be the 2 seed, hopefully, and play them round 1. But my other team is going to be the San Francisco 49ers. I know we just gave up, 42 points against them in San Francisco or Santa Clara, wherever they play. But their defense is not the greatest. So if we could maybe get some more stops playing them, because I like our chances with our offense against their defense. Obviously, I would love to play them as well in the playoffs. 49ers in Green Bay would be pretty ideal for us. I do not want to
All right.
see Matthew Stafford. That's for damn sure. I do not want to see him at all.
Although they're kind of fading right now a little bit. The Rams are kind of fading at the wrong
Yeah.
time.
Well, they don't have Devontae Adams, so let's.
True,
Once he
true,
gets back,
true.
he's gonna go right back to what he was doing, getting 18 touchdown attempts a game, and probably get 17
Yeah,
of those
yeah.
touchdowns
on the 1
Yeah.
yard line. Here's
Dude, it's
Devontae.
crazy. I have a
All
question.
right.
Quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Better, end zone like fade threat. Devontae Adams or Mike Evans?
Mike
Right
Evans,
now?
man. I'm going to go Mike Evans.
Sure. They're both like 30, 32. So I mean,
I like Mike's height.
okay, yeah.
I
That's
mean, Devontae Adams. I'm going to take Adams right now. I mean,
Okay.
Mike Evans just. I mean, maybe it's it's. I hate the play
Oh yeah,
calling for
you
the
are a
Buccaneers.
Bucs
It
fan.
sucks,
Never
man.
mind, dude. That's bias.
Yeah. Well, I didn't pick Mike Evans. I picked Adams. So.
Oh, okay. My bad. My bad.
I picked Adams. Yeah, Evans, Adams sounds the same. Same thing.
Yeah, that's right.
But Mason, I'm going to agree with you. I think that the Bears are the ideal first round matchup for the Packers. The reason is because if you look at the games with the Eagles, the 10-7 game where the Eagles won, if you take Jordan Love's runs away, the Packers ran for an average of 3.5 yards a carry. In the game against the Bears in the first game, they ran for 117 yards on 4.5 yards a carry. And in the second game, 192 yards on 4.4 yards a carry. I think it would be better for the Packers to play the Bears, although I don't like that it's a divisional matchup because those games are just hard no matter what. That's the only thing I don't like about that matchup, but I do think that it would be better for the Packers to go against the Bears because I think they can run the ball better on the Bears than they can run the ball on the Eagles. So I agree with you. All right, so let's get into the Bears, Brennan's team. So the Bears can either be the 2 or the 3 seed. Brennen, we'll start with you. Who do you think is the ideal matchup for the Bears in the first round?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Green Bay as well. Like I said, their team is pretty depleted with injuries on the defensive side. For some reason, Keyshawn Nixon is still the cornerback 1 on the team. He's pretty good, but yeah, they just our line is really good in Chicago, and they just don't. I'm not a big Rashawn Gary guy. He doesn't get any pressures, so I like their line against our line. So I'm gonna go the Green Bay Packers, and like I said, the 49ers would be a close second for us.
All right, what do you think, Mason?
Yeah, it's clearly us. If you're a Bears fan, you're looking at Jordan Love banged up, no Tucker Kraft. Our entire offensive line is just awful or hurt. Jenkins and Zach Tom have been hurt. So you look at that and you've seen how easy the Bears can run the football this season. And you look at the whole Packers defense being hurt also. I mean, not everyone, but we're just so injury ridden right now. And you're coming off a win against us, so you clearly got some momentum. The rivalry momentum is shifted towards them, and you're at home, so you definitely want to play us. But if not us, definitely the 49ers. Like, even though Stafford had a bad game against the Falcons, we've seen the 40 touchdowns this year. He's had 2 bad games. Other than that, he's been MVP caliber, so you don't want to face him. You take your chances again with the Niners, but first overall pick for sure, the Green Bay Packers at the 7 seed.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the 49ers as the best matchup. And I know that the Bears just lost to the 49ers, but the reason I picked them is because they have the least amount of sacks in the league this year with only 18. They cannot rush the passer. They don't get pressure.
Did not know that.
Nick Bosa is a big loss.
Yeah, huge loss. The game was a shootout between the Niners and Bears. I just think that if the Bears can just create just any pressure at all, I think they win that game. It's kind of the same problem for both teams. Like the 49ers can't create pressure and the Bears aren't creating pressure. But I just think that it's going to be a lot easier on the offense for the Bears to play the 49ers defense than it would be to play the Packers. Especially like I mentioned before, Packers and Bears, divisional game, rivalry game, it just makes it that much harder. There's no easy matchup in the playoffs. There's not going to be an easy matchup. Even if you play like the Buccaneers or the Panthers, it's the playoffs. Anything can happen. There's no easy matchup. But I don't really like the divisional matchups for teams just because it's just going to make it that much harder.
Yep, the stakes are higher.
I'm going to take the 49ers. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it would be sweet for the first round to be the Packers, second round 49ers. That would be the dream scenario right there.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's jump around to the AFC side a little bit. We did 2 NFC teams. We'll do 2 AFC teams now. So Let's go
All right.
with the Denver Broncos. So the Broncos can be the 1, 2, or 3 seed, but if they don't get the 1, Brennan, we'll start with you. Who do you think is going to be the best matchup for the Broncos if they don't get the 1 seed?
I think it's the best matchup for the Broncos is going to be the LA Chargers. The Broncos defense is definitely taking a step back. How elite and dominant it was in the beginning of the season. Not saying it's bad, but right now it's not to the caliber it was before. But the Chargers O-line, the Broncos D linemen are looking at is food. So I think the Broncos D lineman would get in there. Nick Benito, shout out Nick Benito, would get in there probably every play and disturb Justin Herbert. So I would say the matchup that Denver's looking for is definitely the Chargers.
We've been talking a lot about, division football, and I was thinking the Chargers too, but then I realized, the Broncos and Chargers, they see each other a lot every single season. So I think the Buffalo Bills, even though Josh Allen has a playoff window with no Mahomes and possibly no Lamar Jackson and definitely not Joe Burrow, a lot of people are thinking, the Bills might take it all the way. I'm thinking that. I think they definitely have a chance. But if you're the Broncos, getting to stop Josh Allen in round 1 right away would just be huge. And then you're looking at the rest of the playoffs with young, inexperienced teams or maybe just, kind of iffy teams that might not be for sure, juggernaut. So I think if you get the Bills round 1, you get them out of the way. That's a huge, huge step towards a Super Bowl.
I agree with both of you guys. I think the top 2 are the Chargers and the Bills. I thought about both because the Chargers, they've allowed 56 sacks this year, and the Broncos are leading the NFL in sacks. So that's a good matchup right there. But as we've already mentioned several times, the divisional matchup, I just don't like it in the first round of the playoffs because it's going to make it that much harder for teams. And the Bills, I agree with because you've seen what good defenses have been able to do to the Bills, right? You take the Texans, for example, what they were able to do to the Bills offense. They were able to shut them down. Josh Allen did not look like the typical Josh Allen you see. I think if you get in a playoff environment where your defense is going to be what you're relying on to win you the game, I think the Broncos would match up well with the Bills because they have the defense to get it done. And you look at last year, I think the Broncos would love that matchup because of what the Bills did to the Broncos in the first round last year. They just blew them out. And I think that the Broncos would love to get revenge on the Bills. And with that defense, I think they could do it. So I think both teams are good matchups, but I'm going to go with the Bills here just because I don't like the divisional matchup. All right, next one. Let's go with the Texans. So the Texans can be the 3, the 5, the 6, or the 7 seed. So they could play the Chargers, they could play the Jags, they could play the Ravens or Steelers, they could play the Patriots, or they could play the Broncos. Mason, we'll start with you. Who do you think's the best first-round matchup for the Houston Texans?
I think getting the 5 seed is definitely crucial. I think they got to beat the Colts this week to get that 5 seed. And when they do get that 5 seed, it's going to be the Ravens. I think, if the Ravens somehow beat the Steelers, I really think that this Texans defense is going to be able to contain Lamar Jackson if he plays, Tyler Huntley if he plays. They've got quick D ends, great tackles. Al Shire is a great linebacker. So their defense, top to bottom, secondary to interior line is one of the best in the league, if not the best in the league. So I think getting Lamar Jackson again, just another playoff guy who's always in the playoffs. If you get him out round 1, you're looking at the rest of the competition like, all right, we just knocked out Lamar Jackson. Who else? Who else wants us? So give me the Ravens if you're Houston.
All right, what do you think, Brennan?
Ah, man. I like the 4 seed, whoever that is. If it's the Steelers, I obviously would pick them. They might sack Aaron Rodgers 55 times because he just can't move. With the Lamar idea, like he can scramble. So I don't know if I like that as much. But I don't know, dude. Maybe I'm a hater. I don't know. You can call me whatever you want. Maybe this is my Will version of I just don't like the Patriots too much. So I think Houston would like to see the Patriots. They have no experience in the playoffs. Second-year guy, his first year starting. Drake May, he's balling, but the defense is, again, kind of dropping off a little bit with some injuries on that side. And Houston has 2 playoff wins with Stroud, so that Houston defense would make it pretty hard for that Patriots offense. So I think I would go the Patriots here as my kind of like other option that wasn't picked. So I'd go Patriots.
Yeah, I'm surprised you picked them because I actually picked them, and I thought that you guys would not pick them. I picked the Patriots as the best matchup for the Texans because the Patriots have not seen a defense like the Texans all season. Not even
I wouldn't
close.
want to play Texans at all, to be honest with you.
No, I
And
wouldn't either. That defense is scary, especially in the playoffs. And defense travels. And one thing when you're looking at the Patriots is they're 5-3 at home, they're 8-0 on the road. They've lost all 3 of their games at home. And so if the Texans go to New England, I mean, it's the playoffs again, anything can happen. But the Patriots have been road warriors this season, and I think that defense can go into New England and beat Drake May and the Patriots. You look at the Texans defense, they allowed the least amount of points this year. They give up an average of 16.6. They're 4th in rushing yards allowed. They're 4th in passing yards
To have a
allowed.
defense like that. My God. I wish. No,
I
would,
know.
and it's
I
like
know.
one of those things with Houston. They're kind of like the AFC version of like Atlanta that we make jokes on our pod, where like Atlanta, like yesterday, looked dominant. The offense looks really good. The defense looks really good. Houston, it's like the defense is going to show up. It just depends what kind of game of CJ Stroud and Nico and Christian Kirk, Mason's guy, kind of give you. I mean, if CJ Stroud balls and that defense shows up, there's not many teams in the AFC that I would take over them.
Yeah. And then you throw in the fact that the Texans are 5th in sacks and the Patriots have given up the 7th most sacks this year. I don't think a lot of people know that because the Patriots are really, really good, but they've given up a lot of sacks. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I think, that defense combined with the fact that the Patriots have only lost at home, you would go into New England where you're on the road and you just rely on your defense to win you the game like the Texans have done all season. I think the Patriots are a really good matchup for the Texans. So if I was the Texans, I would actually want to go there.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
All right. Let's jump back over to the NFC and we'll just go one NFC team, one AFC team from here on out. So let's go with the Philadelphia Eagles. So they could be the 2 or the 3. So they could play the Rams, the 49ers, or the Packers. Brennan, we'll start with you. Who do you think is the best matchup for the Eagles?
Well, I mean, not to get, weird, but I think Green Bay has to call him daddy because they just never beat him. So I think the best matchup for Philly would be Green Bay. What was it, 4 times in a row, Mace, that the Eagles have beaten the Packers?
Yeah.
So
something like that.
They kind of have their
regular
numbers,
season.
have their number. And the Rams, again, I said it earlier, I don't want to see the Rams, and 49ers can keep up. So I would like how good their offense is, and I'm going to just keep beating into the drum. Packers are just depleted, so I'm going to just probably say them for a lot of these options, and F the Packers. So I'm going to go with the
Packers. That's all right.
Well,
that's fair.
I know you just were saying that the Packers haven't beat the Eagles. The Rams haven't beat the Eagles either. The Rams haven't beat the Eagles since Stafford got there.
How many matchups has that been though? Like 2?
I believe it was 4. I believe it's 4.
Have they played 4 times? Okay. I was actually, I know
it's either
2,
3
the
or
last
4.
2. Okay. I know the last 2, one was a blocked field goal to win it, and then the other one was the best effort that someone gave to the Eagles in that playoffs last year in the snow. I'm telling you, if it wasn't snowing, Stafford would have won that game. But yeah, I'm going Packers for sure.
That's so fair.
Are you taking the Packers
Is that
as well,
who you got,
Mason?
Mace?
Oh yeah, sorry. I think the Rams. I think they're going to be locked in at that 3 seed, knowing that the Bears are probably going to get the job done at home week 18. I think they're going to get that 3 seed, and
So you're
going to want to play the Rams.
So you have the Seahawks. Do you have who's your 1 seed in NFC East or West, Mason?
I think the Niners are going to take it this week.
Oh my God, that would be crazy.
That would be insane. I think it's happening. But yeah, if you're the Eagles, I think you're locked in at that 3. Not set in stone, but that's what I'm thinking. And I think you want to take the Rams, like Joel was just saying too. They haven't lost to him either, so they've got their number. And I mean, Stafford looked beatable last night, so who knows?
One thing I noticed with the Rams is if you can pressure the Rams, you can beat them because Stafford's not mobile.
Nope.
He's not a runner.
Yeah, not at all.
He's not a guy like Caleb Williams that's going to, get out of the pocket in like ridiculous ways. He's not going to do that. If you can pressure the Rams, you can beat them. And what the Rams like to do, they like to throw the ball. They throw for 270 yards a game. The Eagles are one of the best pass defenses in the league. They only give up 193. So
Yeah.
I think I like both matchups. I do. I like both the Packers and the Rams, but I'm going to take the Rams as the best matchup, especially because the Rams are fading right now. They're fading at the wrong time, and I know they don't have Devontae Adams, but I think the Eagles can stop them. I really do. Even if they have Adams.
You wouldn't say the Packers are fading a little bit more, or no?
Brad Love's coming back. We're fine.
Oh, is Mike coming back?
Yeah.
Did I like?
I mean, they are. They are, but
sure.
I don't know, man.
I have just been on a disgusting Rams train this whole season. So if they're healthy going into the postseason, I don't see many teams beating them in the NFC. To be honest with you,
it is hard for me to say any team is fading because my team has faded harder than anybody. So
yeah. Oh my gosh,
that's fair. So that's fair.
Yeah.
Who's the most ideal matchup for the Bucs?
Nobody.
No,
dude, if I had to choose, I would probably say the 49ers simply because they can't rush the passer, and it would give Baker Mayfield a lot more time to throw the ball.
What's your
opinion? Oh, go ahead.
No, please. I just had a question, so when you're done, I got you.
I was just going to say, with how bad their offensive play calling has been, which I don't understand, by the way, like, if you look at weeks, I think it was 5 and 6 when they played the Seahawks and 49ers, they beat them in back-to-back weeks, and they scored 30-plus points in back-to-back weeks. Their offensive coordinator was just like, oh, we did really, really good. We scored 30 points in back-to-back weeks. Let's just throw out the whole playbook. Let's just throw it out. It sucks. Yeah. We're not scoring 40 points. New playbook. Like, I don't know what's been happening since then. Like, I don't know. I've been waiting for it to come back ever since that, and it just does not happen. The play calling sucks. Sucks. It absolutely sucks.
That was kind of going to be my question of like, what do you think happened? Because we're big Baker Mayfield fans over here, so it's kind of sad to see just as soon as he gets all his guys back, the production dip. So that was going to be my question. So if you don't know, then no one knows, to be honest.
No, I can't explain it other than the fact that, and this kind of happened after they started to fade, but Todd Bowles is a terrible coach, man. Todd Bowles sucks as a coach.
He's awful.
He sucks. He sucks. Good. Like, I just don't understand, as a coach, how can you say that the coaches have done everything they can do? You blame the players, like say they're the problem, and then expect your players to want to go out there and play for you. How can you do that?
Do you think it has anything to do with like the left shoulder problem that Baker? I know and we all know he's a tough guy, but do you think that has anything to kind of like do with his production dipping at all, or no?
I don't. Maybe a little bit, but I don't think so overall, because it started before that happened. Mm-hmm. It started to dip before that happened, and I know he's been dealing with some other injuries too, but it's weird, dude. I can't really explain it. I can't.
Yeah, it's with fantasy football going and everyone getting their players back in Tampa. Like, it's just it makes just no sense. Ibuka is just useless now in fantasy. Yeah. Obviously, the seasons are all done. Godwin had a good game last week, but it's weird that as soon as you get all your guys back, you start playing worse. So it's weird, for sure.
Yeah, like I said, after the Bucs beat the Seahawks and 49ers, Josh Grizzard was just like, oh, we scored 30-plus points? We've got to throw out the entire playbook. We need a new one.
Got to keep on.
Todd Bowles sucks. He is probably the least motivating coach I've ever seen. Just if he's mad, if he's happy, just the same thing, dude.
You never know. Yeah.
Just the same thing.
Smile and wave, boys.
Every single time. You can never tell. He's so unmotivating. Their offensive play calling sucks, and they have no pass rush.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hassan Reddick, dude, super good.
Yeah.
Old.
Yeah, man. I just don't understand, how do you put up, I think it was 38 points. I could be mistaken, but I think it was 38 points on the Seahawks defense. I know they were missing a guy or two in that game, but how do you do that against the Seahawks? Yeah. You score 30 the next week against the Niners. Yeah, in Seattle, and then you just suck the rest of the season. I don't get it.
Yeah.
6 too many weapons.
Losses.
Yeah.
Too many, right? He doesn't know where to throw.
He doesn't know who to throw to.
Too many people open. I'm just gonna throw it to the other team.
God.
Yeah, I don't get it,
Yeah,
man.
losing 6 of your last 7 is really tough. To go from 6-2 to now 7-9 and fighting for a playoff spot, that's crazy.
Do they
Yeah.
win the division, Joel?
I don't think so, because even if they win this game on Saturday against the Panthers, they still have the Falcons who need to lose to the Saints. And the Saints have been playing better, so it's very possible that that could happen. It's a division
Tyler
game.
Shuck, man.
Anything can happen. Dude, Tyler Shuck. I think we all hated Tyler Shuck.
Tyler Shitbag,
I think
baby.
we
Oh,
all-
yeah.
Wait, so why does Atlanta have to win? What is I'm pretty sure it's just literally this game. Is it
No,
not?
so if the Falcons win, regardless of what happens in the Panthers and Bucs game, the Panthers will make the playoffs over the Bucs, even if the Bucs win. Because I read that if the Falcons win, it would trigger a common games tiebreaker. Whatever that means. I don't know exactly what that means, but I'm assuming it's whoever has the best record in common games. So like if you both played the Packers and one beat the Packers and one lost to the Packers, then the person who beat the Packers would win. So it would trigger a common game tiebreaker. And so if Atlanta wins, it doesn't matter what happens in that game, the Panthers will make it.
All right, I'll take your word for it. That doesn't make much sense to me because I'm seeing right now that it says eliminated by their name. But hey, whatever.
They are eliminated. Here, let me share my screen with you guys real quick because I got this
right.
this playoff predictor here. Can you guys see this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you go, let's see. So Falcons win, and then we do the Buccaneers. It still has the Panthers as the 4. But if the Saints win,
weird.
the Bucs would be in.
Dude, the Bucs are huge Tyler Shitbag fans on Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not the first time this season. Because when the Saints played the Panthers last time, I was rooting for Tyler Shuck and the Saints to win.
And they did win, didn't they?
They did, yeah. They did.
God.
But you know what? I honestly don't even want the Bucs to make the playoffs at this point because they're not going to do anything.
Dude, it's the
So
idea. It's the idea of making
to win a playoff game and then get spanked by either like the Niners or the Rams at home. It's just like, oh, it's worse.
Dude,
Especially
pack away, dude. Make the playoffs, get spanked first round.
Unless you're playing Dallas.
Yeah, that's fair.
Unless it's Dallas. Or free. That's a free win.
49ers on that playoff schedule, dude. Holy.
Anyways, I forgot where we were at, guys. I
think we're going to the AFC. I think that's what you wanted to do.
We just did the Eagles. We just did the Eagles. So we've gotten through 3 NFC and 2 AFC teams.
Okay, cool. All right, let's go with the Buffalo Bills. So the Bills can be the 5, 6, or 7. They cannot win their division anymore. So they can be the 5, 6, or 7, meaning they could play the Texans, Jags, Steelers or Ravens, Broncos, or Patriots. And I believe we started with Brennen last time, so I'll start with Mason. Who do you think's the best matchup for the Bills in the first round?
Yeah, there's a lot of new playoff teams, including the Broncos, Patriots, Jags. Broncos aren't really new. I think they were in last year, but you still get the point. They haven't been consistently in the playoffs for the past 5 years. So you look at those teams and you're like, okay, who's been iffy? Personally, I think the fraudulent team out of those 3 is the Jacksonville Jaguars. I don't know how they're doing it. I'm not gonna hate on the Jags in any way because they've been playing fantastic football and beat Denver in Denver, but I think they're a little inexperienced. I mean, Trevor Lawrence has been to the playoffs. I think they got a playoff win too, but if you're the Bills, I think you see them. They're not a divisional matchup. I don't really know what the head-to-head matchup is looking like, between the 2 teams, but I think you can expose the Jags offense a little bit. Just get to get to Trevor Lawrence, make him run the ball a little bit. Get to Josh Allen. Get to Trevor Lawrence. I don't believe in Jacoby Myers and BTJ. Granted, the Bills secondary isn't, amazing, but we've seen BTJ not, be fantastic this year. And if you lock in Jacoby Myers, there's not many weapons on that offense. So I think the Jags would be a good matchup for the Bills.
Before Brendan goes, I'll just I'll give you a warning about saying the Jags are frauds, Mason, because a couple weeks ago I said I don't believe in the Jags, and I think Trevor Lawrence sucks. And then they went out and beat the crap out of the Broncos the very next game, and I was like, they shut me up real fast.
Yeah.
So
It's been happening all year. I'm just gonna keep saying it because it hasn't proved me wrong all season long, and I'm just gonna keep taking the L. But it's
T-Law
still
is a fraud.
mind-boggling.
He's a fraud, guys. Hear that?
Mind-boggling, dude. Trevor Lawrence is a top 5 fantasy quarterback this year. What? Makes no sense.
Dude, the end of their schedule's been pretty nice to them. Obviously, they beat the Broncos in Denver, but they beat the Titans, they beat the Cardinals, they beat the Colts, beat the Jets, they beat the Jaguar or Colts again with Phillip Rivers.
Yeah.
So I mean, hey, I'm a Bears fan. You can't be mad at the schedule, but I don't know. I don't know.
Right. There you go. But, that's why I feel the Bills. You see that?
But my pick for the best matchup for the Bills, I'm sorry, is going to be the whoever's the 4 seed, whoever's like hobbles into the playoffs in the 4 seed after that game week 18. I think that's the best matchup for them. Steelers, their defense is just so old. TJ Watt is old. No, all their DBs are old or just got to the team. Aaron Rodgers is old.
Can't even breathe properly right now. So
yeah, he's got something going on with his lungs. And then the freaking Ravens are super confusing because if Lamar wasn't like playing like ass, I would not want to play them. But he's not playing well, and he's not the best playoff performer. So I'm gonna go with whoever that 4 seed is. So I think it's gonna be the Ravens. So I think the Ravens are the best matchup for the Bills.
I agree. I think it's going to be the 4 seed. I'm going to pick the Steelers specifically, though, because what the Bills do defensively, like what they're good and bad at on defense, matches up well with what the Steelers do on offense. The Bills are one of the worst run defenses in the league, but the Steelers are one of the worst run offenses in the league. And so the Steelers aren't really good at passing the ball either. Like they're average at passing the ball. They're not particularly good at anything on offense, but the Bills are one of the best pass defenses in the league. They're just a really, really bad run defense, but the Steelers can't run the ball. So I think they match up really, really well with the Steelers because what their defense is good at and bad at matches up with what the Steelers do on offense. So that's why I'm picking the Steelers.
Yeah, and they just had like a matchup a few weeks ago when they broke the record for the most rushing yards in Pittsburgh or something.
Oh yeah. Holy crap,
Yeah.
I forgot about that game.
So, shout out James Cook.
All right. So back to the NFC. Let's go with the Seahawks. We haven't picked the Seahawks yet, right?
No.
Okay. So the Seahawks can either be the 1 or the 5. So assuming they're the 5, there's only 2 teams that they could play, the Bucs or the Panthers. Which team would be the better matchup for the Seahawks? Is it the Bucs or is it the Panthers?
Both? No, I don't know. I think the Bucs would be a better matchup because Carolina's just if one of these teams is hot, it's going to be Carolina. The Buccaneers just if they somehow win and then the Falcons lose, they're going to be scraping into the playoffs by their teeth. And the Seahawks are just going to be waiting for them, ready to go. And Seattle's defense is unbelievable. So JSN probably get a touchdown or 2 on that defense, and Baker Mayfield will be in hell all day.
I'm gonna say the Panthers just for 2 reasons. One, what Joel was saying earlier, the Bucs somehow put up 38 points against Seattle, halfway through the season. So maybe that's in the back of your mind if you're Seattle, and if you're a Tampa Bay, player, you're like, we already beat these guys. We're gonna go out and do it again. So. The
just
Seahawks
bring back
just
that
beat
playbook.
the Panthers as well.
Just bring back the playbook.
Bring back that
the
playbook
trash can and grab it out of there.
Right, and the Seahawks just beat Carolina 27-10, I think it was, this past week. So they just saw them. They'll know how to stop them again. I think the Panthers are the better matchup, and you don't want to face Baker. Even though they're struggling, he's a little bit more experienced in the playoffs. So I'm going to take the Panthers.
All right, yeah, this is a tough one for me because I know the Bucs beat the Seahawks, but I just don't see it happening again, especially in the playoffs. Like with the Seahawks defense, the Seahawks defense is so good. Like in the game against the Rams, the first time Sam Darnold threw 4 interceptions and they still had a chance to win that game. I know they lost, but they still had a chance to win, which is incredible. That's just incredible by that defense to even allow them to have a chance to win that game. So in the playoffs, that's what you want. Like you want to have a good defense in the playoffs, and I think Seattle has that. And so the Bucs, Their offense is just bad right now. It's just bad.
Yeah,
So
I mean, hey, you could get that Sam Darnold game where he poops his pants on live television and everybody
the
sees it,
ghosts,
and
the ghosts are coming
see
back,
the
man.
ghost. I mean, that game against the Rams, he threw 4, like you said, but it's like, I don't know, dude. A lot of people after that game were just like, "Yep, he's fine. He's good to go. He's him." It's like, hey guys, let's
Slow
calm
down.
down a little bit.
Mhm.
Let's calm down a little bit.
All right, let's go back to the AFC. Let's go with the Chargers. Chargers could be the 5, 6, or 7. Who do you think would be the best matchup for the Chargers? Brendan, we'll start with you.
I think it's going to be the same point, but reverse for the Chargers. I'm going to go with the Patriots here. I don't think they have the best D-line, so whoever the worst D-line is going to be their best matchup. Chargers O-line is so depleted, and the players that they have still available are so bad. I trust Justin Herbert, but when he gets sacked 5 times, it's hard to win a football game. Trust me, I had to watch it last year. It wasn't fun. But no, just any team. So obviously the Broncos aren't going to be the option because their D-line is really good. So I'm just going to say the Patriots. I know Milton Williams is there, but he's a DT. He doesn't get in the backfield too much. But I'm going to go Patriots here.
Yeah, I'm going to second that as well. I was thinking the Patriots too. I'm just trying to think of, D lines you don't want to face, and that's clearly, Denver and Houston. And even though Pittsburgh's, still iffy, Cam Hayward's still there. TJ Watt has been in the playoffs so many times,
Highsmith?
and Highsmith, they might just rise up. So I agree. Get the inexperienced Patriots here and let Justin Herbert, put the team on his back yet again.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you guys. One, because like you guys said, the inexperience, and the Chargers do have a really good defense. It may not be thought of as a good defense, like when you think about like the Texans or the Broncos, but they do have a really good defense. And so, like we've mentioned before, the Patriots haven't really faced a really good defense all season. So I think the Chargers could at least keep them in the game against the Patriots if they were to play them. So I do like the Patriots as the best first round matchup. Steelers would be a close second for me, just because they're the Steelers and they haven't won a playoff game since I think it's like 2017, 18 maybe. But
Something like that.
yeah,
Long time.
Mike Tomlin just loves to make the playoffs and then just be like, okay, we're done.
It's called job security.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, back over to the NFC. So let's go with the 49ers. 49ers could still be the 1, but they could also be the 5 or the 6 seed, meaning they could play the Bears, Eagles, or the Bucs or Panthers.
I think this is going to be one of the cop-out ones. I think I'm going to go Bucs here. Whoever wins that division, I should say. Obviously, I want to hype up the Bears. I think we would play them very well. I'm just going to go to Panthers here because they're not very good. The Bucs, whoever wins that division is going to be my ideal matchup for them.
Oh, yeah, I'm taking the Buccaneers here as well, too. Just, even though the 49ers don't have the best defense out there, Baker Mayfield isn't, the best scrambler. He's not, the most agile. He still does at times, and, we've seen some great scrambles from Baker. But, I think if you're the 49ers and you're just seeing what the Tampa Bay's offense has been doing lately, which is nothing, you're like, all right, we can actually win a game. And, even if we give up 30 points, we can win 38-30. So, I would take the Bucs here as well.
I'm going to go with the Bears.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys for having us. I'm going to get out of here.
Well, the reason why is because, like I mentioned before, like the 49ers have trouble rushing the passer and creating that pressure. And so I think if they played the Bucs, it would just allow Baker Mayfield to actually bake instead of doing nothing. And the 49ers, they just ran for 200 yards on the Bears. They ran for 200 yards. And I think in the playoffs, you're looking at 2 things. You're hoping that your defense can carry you and you want a good running game. And that's what the 49ers do. Also, I'm saying that just for the sake of not saying the Bucs or Panthers every time. But
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, I think the 49ers are a good matchup for the Bears because they can't generate pressure. So they won't have pressure on Caleb Williams. But I also think it's the opposite, where the Bears are a good matchup for the 49ers because the Bears can't generate pressure and they can run the ball on the Bears. They know they can do that because they just did it.
Yeah.
So
100%.
yeah,
I get it. I was just kidding.
I know. I'm not trying to throw out some Will level hate here for the Bears.
No, you're all good. You're all good. It was a beautiful. Hey, I preach it all the times. Domes and points for the NFL. So the
He
game
loves
against the
offense.
49ers, the 49ers game was stressful. I hated all of it because we were it was back and forth. But that's the kind of games I like to watch. So I'd way rather watch that. Obviously, rather we win. But points is how I like the NFL.
Right. All right, so I think we're down to the last two teams, unless I missed one. But on the AFC side, we've got the Jags, and the NFC side, we've got the Rams. So let's go to the
Yep.
Jags. Believe it or not, they can still actually get the 1 seed, but they could also be the 2, the 3, the 5, 6, or 7 seed. So there's a lot of different possibilities for the Jaguars here. So they could play the Ravens or Steelers. They could play the Texans. They could play the Patriots, Bills, or Chargers. Mason, who do you think is the best matchup in the first round for the Jaguars?
Wow.
I hate this
This
team
is
so
just,
much.
it's crazy to think that they could just literally end up anywhere. I did not know that. I didn't realize they still had a chance at the 1 seed if New England and Denver lost. I'm going to say that, that doesn't happen. I'm going to say they don't get that 1 seed. They don't get the bye. I think you're going to want to play, the Chargers at like the 3 or 2 seed, something like that, where you're playing offensive line that, like Brendan was talking about earlier, is just so depleted, and we saw how exposed it gets. And I've just seen so many videos of people hyping up Justin Herbert and just giving him kudos because he has a half a second to make a decision, or else someone is right in his face. So I think Josh Hines Allen and a lot of other Jags players could see that as a great opportunity to get to Justin Herbert and take a win. And they've already played each other in the playoffs too. That'd be a cool matchup again.
Let's just say the matchup's kind of how it is right now on the ESPN standings app. Don't want to play the Houston Texans. And I
Nobody
don't
does.
want to. I don't want to play
Yeah.
Josh Allen in the playoffs. So I'm gonna piggyback off Mason and say the Chargers. I think that's the best matchup for him. I don't really have a reason. It's just more of I'd rather not play the other two teams. So
Yeah.
I got the Chargers here, and they've already beat them once. It was a great game, but I think they can do it again.
Yeah, when I was looking at this matchup, I first was like, well, I think the best matchup for them would be probably the Steelers. But in order for that to happen, they would have to not win their division, and then they'd go on the road, which they obviously don't want to do. So I didn't pick the
Right.
Steelers. So I'm going to agree with you guys. It's the Chargers, just because, I think the Steelers would be a better matchup for them. But obviously,
Yeah.
you don't want to go on the road. So you want to play at home. And I think that defense at home for the Jaguars in a playoff game would carry the Jaguars to a victory over the Chargers. And they've already done it once over the Chargers. I think they would do it again, especially in a playoff environment. Those fans are going to be wild in the playoffs because they don't get that experience very often. And so I think that it's just going to be a really good environment. If the Jaguars do win their division, I think it's going to be a really fun and good environment for that team. And so I think that the Chargers would be a really good matchup for them. So let's go to our last NFC team with the Rams. So the Rams can be the 5 or the 6. And so they could play the Bucs or Panthers. They could play the Eagles or the Bears. So for this one, I know we've talked a lot about the Bucs. I think that's probably the obvious answer here. So because it's the obvious answer, let's pick one of the other 3 teams. Let's pick the Panthers,
Yes.
Eagles, or Bears. Out of those 3 teams, who would be the better matchup for the Rams?
I mean, I like to say that I'm an unbiased Bears fan. I'm not delusional, so I'm going to say us because the Seahawks defense is 10 times better than ours. So is the Eagles. I would say like the whole, get your lick back kind of thing. Try to beat the Eagles, because they beat them last year, and then a rivalry division opponent with the Seahawks. But if I'm going to be real, it's got to be us. It's our defense is just Swiss cheese. If you give Matthew Stafford that much time to find a wide receiver, he's going to find them, especially if Devontae's healthy. Yeah, I'm going to go us pretty easily here. They just really need to get like maybe 2 stops on us, because Stafford's going to score every time like Purdy did on Monday or Sunday.
Yeah, I'm gonna second that, assuming that Matthew Stafford is playing, MVP level football and not,
If they don't
what
give
he
him that
was showing.
MVP, he might throw for 50 touchdowns in the playoffs.
Hey, you know what? Who knows? Who knows? They might not. I don't know. That
That's
game was really
crazy.
tough, but
Crazy work.
assuming you're getting a good Stafford, you're gonna want to play the Bears just because Brennan said, the defense is Swiss cheese. He's mentioned their lack of a pass rush, and you look at Matthew Stafford. We've said it earlier on this pod. He is not a mobile quarterback. He never has been, even if he was younger. So if you're playing a team that doesn't have a good pass rush, you're giving Matthew Stafford time. Devontae's healthy. Puka's going to do his thing. I think the Bears are definitely your matchup you're looking for.
Yeah, I agree. I mentioned it earlier. You guys just mentioned it. If you can't pressure the Rams, they're going to score on you every time. If you can pressure them,
Yep.
you can give them problems. So if the Bears can't generate any pressure and they're playing the Rams, I think that could be a problem for the Bears defense. So I
Good
agree with you
night.
guys.
That'd be a
oh my
fun
God.
game to watch, though. Shit,
It
that'd
would
be
be
like a
sweet.
45
Two
to 42.
offensive geniuses going against each other. But golly, if we don't score a touchdown every time, it's just going to be like the 49ers game. But, we'll see.
The one thing I will say about the Bears defense, though, is very impressive what they've been able to do with the turnovers.
See,
Very impressive.
Takeaways is crazy.
that's it right there. Like, I don't know how much Bear games you watch, but the idea of the takeaways are so cool until you can't get one, and then you get stomped on every time, like the 49ers game. We had a pick six. That was sweet. That was the first throw of the game. After that, I think they punted twice. So I like the idea of the takeaways are cool, but it's very unsustainable. What people keep telling me, and that's what happened against the 49ers. So hopefully we can kind of figure that out when the playoffs come around.
All right. Do you guys have anything else to add before we move on to the New Year's resolutions?
Nope.
Nope.
No, man,
right,
just
cool.
excited for some playoff football.
Yeah, we are.
All right.
Woo, let's go, Bears playoffs.
Yeah, super excited for playoff football. Yeah. Go Bucs.
Go Bucs.
This
All
is
right.
like a playoff game, so
Pretty much, yeah. Just we need a little help too. All right. Mason, let's go first for your New Year's resolutions for the Packers. Just give me like one or two things that you think the Packers need to accomplish in 2026. And the one thing you cannot pick is winning the Super Bowl because that's too obvious. So what do they need to do in 2026? What's a New Year's resolution for the Packers in 2026?
Yeah, well, you said, give me two things, and, it's the same topic, but, I need someone on this side and someone on this side of the football that can defend a wide receiver. So give me a cornerback one and a cornerback two. I get that it's, the same resolution in one, two guys, but at the very least, go out and trade for a solidified cornerback one.
Diggs?
Who?
Diggs?
I mean, if you get him for
if you want to give up 50
playoffs,
points a game, yeah.
Diggs? Well, bro, it can't be any worse than Keyshawn Nixon and Carrington Valentine.
Yeah, that's not the
Diggs
answer.
is probably
I would love him.
The one thing with Diggs is you're either getting a pick six or you're giving up a touchdown.
That's what.
Yeah,
I mean that's exactly what Keyshawn is doing right now. So he's just not getting.
He's not even getting interceptions.
No,
exactly.
No,
so whether it's trading up in the draft, which they won't do, or just using your draft pick wisely for once. Even then, I don't want a young, inexperienced cornerback. I want them to go out and trade for a solidified cornerback one. I don't know who that would be. Have no idea. And AJ Terrell on the Falcons, someone like that. He's been kind of iffy right now. I know that's the thing, but just someone that's had at least a good solidified season as a cornerback one, because Carrington Valentine, Bo Melton, Keyshawn Nixon, Nate Hobbs, these are just not acceptable. Not acceptable whatsoever. I'm not going to say anything really mean about them, but it's just been extremely difficult to watch. And now that we don't have a pass rush, it's getting exposed that much more. So first resolution, go out and trade for an experienced cornerback one.
Yeah. What about that special teams coordinator? What do you think about him?
Hey, that'll be the next resolution if we get to it.
Yeah, I do living in Wisconsin, man. Obviously surrounded by a lot of Packer fans, and my buddy Jake has texted me a lot of wanting to fire Gutekunst, the GM for the
Brian
Packers.
Gutekunst, yeah,
Yeah, because just going into the season, obviously Michael Parsons, W, but going into the season with Keyshawn Nixon and Valentine as your 1 and 2
bad move.
was definitely an interesting
We all
idea.
saw it too. Everyone, the whole
Yeah.
NFL saw it coming. We're like, okay, yeah, you got Parsons, and that'll create pressure. But if we get someone escaping the pocket and Parsons can't get to him, we're finished.
Yeah. Bears resolution number 1. Any D end that wants to come in and get any sort of pressure, please come on down. You know, I don't want to give up the future as much as I would love to get like a Max Crosby or Myles Garrett. It's just like we did that already with Khalil Mack, and it kind of set us back like 3 or 4 years. So we're good right now. And this upcoming draft class is just full of, D linemen, defensive tackles, and good edges. And we have our first round pick. I don't know where it's going to be. Hopefully there's somebody good at 32, but yeah,
That's funny.
I just hope, I'm just joking, but maybe, but no, I would say somebody on the line for sure would be number 1.
Do you have a second one?
Let me think. You got any for the Buccaneers here?
I do. Yeah. Number 1, fire Todd Bowles. He sucks.
Yeah, but we
He
saw that
is
coming.
so bad, dude. Todd Bowles is a terrible coach. A terrible coach. He has to go. That is the number 1 New Year's resolution for the Bucs. Is as soon as they are not in the playoffs, whether it's they're not in the playoffs at all or they make it to the first round and they get eliminated in the first round, the moment that they are eliminated, get rid of Todd Bowles. And not just Todd Bowles, but a whole new coaching staff. Todd Bowles is terrible, and the offensive coordinator, the plays are just absolute trash. So that is the number 1 New Year's resolution is get rid of Todd Bowles. Terrible coach.
Dude, I'm really trying.
Sorry, do you have any like replacements in mind? Are you like looking at anyone specific that you'd want Tampa to go out and get?
I'm still trying to decide like who I would want. There's a couple guys that have come to mind. I did have his name is escaping me. At one point it was the Rams defensive coordinator, but not so much anymore.
Yeah.
Shula.
I don't know his name either.
Shula is his last name. Chris Shula, I think.
Mm-hmm.
At one point I had him, but maybe not so much anymore. The Clint Kubiak, the Seahawks offensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
He's come to mind. I don't really have like an order of guys that I would want yet, but I have a sleeper that I've been thinking about.
Pete Carroll?
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady. Wow.
But only if Gronkowski is on his coaching staff.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know. He's making a good living just talking about football right now, so I don't know if he'll want to do all that. Huh?
I don't.
Is that
I don't
even
think
like
so.
legal?
As part
Doesn't
owner.
he own the Raiders or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a share.
I didn't
He'd
know
probably have
the
to
legality behind it.
Yeah, he'd probably have to give that up. I just had thoughts about it. I think it would be cool. I don't know if he'd be a good coach or not, but I think it'd be cool if Brady was the coach and Gronkowski was on his staff.
That would be really cool. That'd be really cool.
Gotta have some sort of goal in mind.
I'm really trying to think of a second one, and I'm not really sure.
I mean, you said it for me, Brennan. The fire Rick Bisaccia. It's terrible. It's ridiculous how. And granted, you can't tell Romeo. You can't control what Romeo Dobbs is doing, but we have no return game whatsoever. We've got no defensive like gunners like the Patriots do. Like we just give up a lot of yards on returns. So it's just the whole thing. Just get rid of him. He's got to go. Rick Bisaccia, number 2, like you said, he's got to go.
Yeah, unless you guys got like a second one for the Bears that I can't think of, like, and I'm not even trying to be like that guy. I just want somebody. Let's just go DT and D end are my 2. Are gonna maybe a safety here in the draft as well, but I like our team right now, and there's not much I want to change except the D line, and that's about it.
Yeah, that's
Do
fair.
you like your defensive coordinator, Brennan?
Yes and no. He does what he can with the players that are available. I mean, our whole season has just been riddled with injuries. There was a game where we had 6 starters out on the defensive side. So yes, he gave up 42 points against the 49ers, but it's CMC. You can't tell, you can't do much. And Kyle Shanahan is a guru. I just love Andrew Billings, our defensive tackle, that huge dude trying to chase after CMC. It was awesome. But no, dude, I think he's doing really well. Give him another year with players that can stay healthy and play better, because our cornerbacks are playing well. Kevin Byard's having one of his best seasons of his career right now. It's just you can't really do anything with the D-line when the play is just not good. Montez Sweat gets doubled, and Austin Booker is like a 5th-round pick out of Kansas. So I like Allen, but he's just doing what he can with what he has.
Yeah, my second New Year's resolution for the Bucs would be similar to the Bears, is just get any sort of pass rush, because they cannot generate pressure. Their leading sack guy this year is Yaya Diaby, who has 7 sacks.
Oh.
And after that, it's Vita Vea with 4.5. This massive defensive tackle is your second leading sack guy.
Yeah, he's a beast, though.
He is a beast.
Yeah, they have 2 defensive ends on their roster who have a sack this year. One of them has 2 sacks, and one of them has 1.5. There's no pressure for the Buccaneers.
It's tough.
Yeah, and those, it's going to be weird because, like, I think Trey Hendrickson is definitely going to be on the market or kind of not be a Bengal next year. Any of these teams that need a defensive end should definitely make a bid on him, because I think he was kind of low-key faking his injuries in Cincinnati, because why would you want to play for that organization? But I think he's still elite, and even if he's your 2, that would be unbelievable. I would love Trey Hendrickson on the Bears. Ryan Poles, you hear that?
Any team would want him.
Yeah, and then I've got one more. I picked the third one. I know it's just said 1 or 2, but I picked the third one here for the Bucs.
Yeah, that's fair.
And this has to do with if they keep Bowles. If they keep Bowles, then just tank. Tank for Jeremiah Smith.
Yeah.
Tank for Jeremiah Smith.
How many wide receivers do you
Another
need?
wide receiver.
Well, Mike Evans is going to retire soon.
Yeah.
Right. So if you tank, if you keep Bowles, you tank for Jeremiah Smith. You replace Mike Evans. I was about to say Chris Evans. I was thinking about Captain America there for a second. You replace Mike Evans with Jeremiah Smith, and you just have that big-bodied wide receiver for the next 10+ years.
Dude, your O-line good? You think?
Tristan Wirfs is good. Yeah, he's a franchise left tackle. Our center, I wouldn't say our center is like an All-Pro or anything, like Pro Bowl guy, but he's solid. Right tackle is okay, and then if we were to go into the draft, like I'm a big just like draft the best player available type of guy instead of draft specifically for need and like reach for a guy because you need a position. So like if we were to go into the draft and we were to get one of the best tackles and put him at right tackle, or one of the best guards in the draft, I would be okay with that.
Yeah.
Because it's not a terrible offensive line, but it's not a great offensive line either.
Yeah, it's just the year difference is just investing in the line with the Bears. It's just like that's how you win games now. That's how I imagine just being successful, is having an O-line that can keep your quarterback upright. So that
unless you're the Dallas Cowboys, because they tried that for many years and did nothing. So
hey, I can't speak on Dallas Cowboys.
And they drafted a lineman last draft too.
Yeah,
they did.
What's that? What's
Booker.
that? Yeah, out of Alabama. Beast.
Yep.
My favorite thing about the Cowboys is when all their players complain about the sun coming in from in the stadium.
Yeah, they do got a
if you guys remember at one point the Cowboys had Tyron Smith, All-Pro left tackle. They had Travis Fredericks at center, All-Pro center. They had Zach Martin, All-Pro guard. And all it could get them was a first-round playoff loss. So
was that when Dak was like super young?
Yeah, that was early in his career.
When Zeke was a beast.
Oh yeah, that's right. God.
Yeah, for 1 year.
changed.
For 1 year.
Yeah.
And he just got worse every single year from then on out.
Yes, he did.
Just slowly went downhill every single year.
Yeah, it happens. Running backs, man.
Hey, they seem to be lasting a little bit longer now than they have been before.
Yeah, when you're 6'3", 250 pounds, you can probably play until you're 31, 32.
Or you're Christian
think.
McCaffrey and have missed 5
Yeah.
or 6 seasons,
Yeah.
Well, dude,
Yeah,
that's what you got to do. You got to play like one every other season. That's how you get deep into the numbers of years in the league.
He's going to get hurt next year for sure. There's no way
Hey,
he's
knock on
surviving
wood.
another full
It's just
season.
No,
Yeah.
dude, it's literally
Up
look at this like game logs. It's like literally like 8-16, 8-16, 8,
Yep.
14,
Yep.
7. It's crazy. Everyone's gonna draft him super high. I don't want him to get hurt, but it's just old running backs.
It's inevitable.
Dude, he's got like 500 touches this season.
It's got to be sore.
Yeah. Don't draft McCaffrey in fantasy next year. He's getting hurt.
Yep, you heard it. Heard it here first.
All right. Well, I don't have anything else unless you guys have anything else. I think we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. So
Yeah,
that's all we got on the show today, guys. Thank you for listening, and thank you guys again for joining me as my co-host today. I appreciate you guys coming on. It was fun. And to everybody who's listening, we wish you a happy new year. And as always, guys, don't forget to keep your balls played with. We'll see you next time.
Bye now, y'all. Also, Mark Davis's haircut still sucks.